Let me ask you a question. As we forge forward into 2026, did you pause your home search sometime over the last few years? Maybe you felt prices got too high. Maybe you thought interest rates went too high. Maybe it's because every time you found a house you were interested in, it already had 10 offers. And not only did it have 10 offers, it also had cash buyers. If that's you, you're not behind. And no, you also didn't miss your chance. In fact, this might be one of the best times in recent years to take another look. And today I'm going to explain exactly why, nationally, as well as in Onslow County, North Carolina, now might be the right time for you to get another look. I'm Stephen L. Skakandy with the Skakandy Group of living in and around Jacksonville, North Carolina. I'm a realtor, I'm a broker, and every day I help people just like you. Whether you're looking to buy in the next 9 days or 9 months, I help people just like you every day. So come on a journey with me, one of the top agents in Onslow County, and I'm gonna break this down for you. I'm gonna help you make good decisions based on fact, not headlines, and not emotion. The first thing we have to do is reassess and reset expectations. This is not the market of 2021. Heck, it's not even the market of 2023. Back then, homes were selling in mere hours. Buyers were waiving inspections. Prices were climbing aggressively. And affordability, it was getting absolutely crushed. That market is gone. Today's market offers something different. It's slower, it's more balanced. And for buyers, it's offering buyers something that they haven't seen in years. That's the word I like to refer to as options. Let's talk affordability. Affordability is improving. Now, what exactly does that mean? Affordability is defined as the ability to purchase a home, have a mortgage, but still maintain a standard of living to where you can go out to eat or go to the movies or have time for other leisure activities that you enjoy. And not just time, but cash to do so. So when affordability gets out of whack, then more and more of your income goes to housing costs and consideration, which is a problem. But don't just take my word for it. Affordability has turned a corner. Some leading economists, such as Lisa Stiverson, who's with the Bright Multiple Listing Service, said, and I quote, that slower price growth coupled with a slight drop in mortgage rates will improve affordability and create a window for some buyers to get into the market. And that's exactly what we're seeing. So to put it simpler, mortgages are coming off their recent high. That's huge. We just had $200 billion of liquidity thrust into the market where they've started to, Freddie and Fannie have started to buy mortgages, injecting more cash or liquidity into the market. Prices are no longer skyrocketing and incomes have continued to rise. But what does that mean locally for Onslow County? Well, I can tell you, because I've been in this market for over 20 years now, that I have definitely seen slower price growth so far over the last couple of years, and I'm talking 2025 into 2026, than there was in comparison to, say, 2020, 2021, and 2022. Homes are also sitting on the market longer. Days on market is creeping up, and sellers are far more open to negotiations than they were during that time. That means that buyers are no longer fighting the clock anymore. They're able to have conversations again. And that is a huge shift from the last few years. Another massive change that we have to discuss is inventory, okay? According to Realtor.com, there's 17% more homes on the market at this time this year in early 2026 as there were on the market in early 2025 in just a span of 1 year. Lawrence Hyun, which is the National Association of Realtors chief economist, he's come out and said, look, what has changed is buyers have more to choose from now, and they're in the best position that they've been in really in the last 5 years. We would have to go back before the pandemic in order to find another time when buyers had as many choices as they currently have right now. Let's break that down for the local level and look at Onslow County and talk about what that means for Onslow. Well, as we go out there and look, we do see more homes on the market now than there were at this time last year. So that holds true. Homes are also taking a little bit longer to sell. And we've seen more price adjustments than we have in the last 3 years. What does that mean for you as a buyer? You can actually be picky again. You can start to compare neighborhoods. You can think about things such as layout, your commute to the bases, yard size, look at schools, Moral to the story is you're not grabbing whatever you can get necessarily, and that matters. Now, this is where local experience matters. Nationally, inventory has recovered and given buyers great options, particularly in the South and in the West of the United States. And of course, North Carolina is in the South. However, things change based on what area in North Carolina you move into. So things are different in Raleigh and Charlotte versus Waxhaw or Bladen County. And even in Onslow County, markets are different. Jacksonville is different from Richlands, which is different from Hubert, which is definitely different from Sneads Ferry or Holly Ridge. And of course, in those areas, neighborhoods will move different. Stateside is going to behave very differently from Turner Farms, Cherry Grove, or perhaps Camellia Creek, to name some. So some neighborhoods will move fast, others give buyers time and leverage. And that's why working with a professional local agent like me makes a difference for you. The big picture can show opportunity, but things like zip codes, local addresses, and subdivision at that granular level matter. And that is exactly what I can help coach you through. So getting back to good old-fashioned laws of supply and demand and economics, here's what a lot of people miss out on. When inventory goes up, your competition will start to come down. And when that happens, homes will sit longer. So negotiation starts to come back in the forefront and be a topic again. Today's buyers in Onslow County are getting to negotiate again. So where that really shows up is in terms of closing cost expenses. Some people call it closing costs, some people call it closing expenses, and that is money that helps you actually get into the house. While the VA loan means no money down, where you don't need 20%, 10%, 5%, or whatever that number is, it doesn't mean no money out of pocket. And there are costs associated with purchasing a home. Things like home inspection, appraisal, things of that nature are going to have to be paid for upfront. And having closing cost expenses paid for by the seller definitely helps you out. And it's great news for home buyers in Onslow County that those things are starting to come back. What's also coming back is money for such things as interest rate buy down to help subsidize that interest rate and help maximize that affordability per month. Another thing is basic repairs. So many times we have things called deferred maintenance that just get forgotten about as a seller lives in the home and just ignores it because they're used to it. Well, now those things, sometimes unsightly, can get corrected once again before you move in. That simply wasn't happening 2 years ago. This doesn't mean, though, that every seller is desperate, and it doesn't mean that every seller will play ball. But what it does mean is that once again, we have a chance to entertain these things. So that means sellers are realistic again. And when sellers are realistic and buyers are realistic together, that means we have a healthy market. But hey, what if you're not ready yet? Well, that's okay. It doesn't matter if you're not ready today, tomorrow, or even next week. You don't have to rush. The smartest buyers I work with start with the vision. Where do they see themselves 1 month, 1 year, 5 years from now? What's the end state? And then we build a plan that simply works back from there. So we review their budget. I make sure that they understand their loan options by getting them with a handful of lenders that I work with and I trust to give the right information and the right advice for those particular buyers. We start looking at specific neighborhoods and come up with lists of possible wants versus needs and how that fits in. And in short, we build a plan. That way, when the right home comes along and hits the market, we're not scrambling. That's what proper preparation looks like in this or any market. And when you work with a professional like me to help you purchase or sell a home, that's where I assist you. So bottom line, if you step back because the market felt crazy, or maybe the prices seemed out of reach, or you were just plumb burnt out between all the competition and the confusion and the hectic pace of the frenzy that was going on during that zeitgeist of 2021 to 2023, that's okay. This may be your moment to re-enter the market, but on your terms. This isn't 2021. And it's not 2023. This is a new market. And if you want an honest breakdown of what's happening right now in Onslow County, not nationally, not hypothetical, I'd be happy to help. I'm Stephen L. Skakandy with the Skakandy Group of living in and around Jacksonville, North Carolina. Reach out to me anytime for a custom market overview. No pressure, no sales, just real numbers and real answers. Just remember, the market didn't pass you by. You just needed real change. You just needed timing to change. I'm Stephen L. Skakandy with the Skakandy Group of living in and around Jacksonville, North Carolina. Be sure to click on the like button and smash that subscribe button, and we'll see you for the next video.